Good morning, friends. This is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Thank you for being with me here today. Today I have a special message for you regarding the goddess Isis. So Isis was an Egyptian goddess. She's known as the mother of stars, parent of seasons, and mistress of all the world. Worship of Isis spread all over. It started in ancient Egypt, but was in Greece and Rome, all over the place. Isis is also known as the protector of the dead, and she definitely helps us manifest our magic. And so she's a very versatile goddess, and this morning I'm going to be reading some messages for you from my Isis Oracle. And it's called Awaken the Priestess Within. So I hope you enjoy that. And let's get into your messages. So our question is, what message does the goddess Isis have for you today regarding spiritual guidance, and why is it important? Okay. Sorry, just needed a drink of water. I feel like tarot readers, we always have to start off with a drink of water. So go ahead and review each pile here and decide which pile is speaking most to you. So I have the Black Obsidian, I've got the Bloodstone Pyramid, and the Hematite. So all are beautiful. Black Obsidian, gorgeous. Bloodstone, Pyramid, Hematite. This shiny Hematite right here. So really focus in on each pile and decide. I'm feeling like I should lift each one up as well here, and here's the Black Obsidian. Okay. Here's the Bloodstone, and here's the Hematite. Okay, so go ahead and choose your pile. Got my Isis candle burning right here. I'm going to put the other piles aside for now, and let's start the readings. I will link in the description the timestamp so you can go right to your pile if you're into that. You can also listen to multiple piles as well. So pile number one, here, this is your reading. We have the Black Obsidian here. Our question is, what message does the goddess Isis have for you today, and why is it important regarding spiritual guidance? Okay, so let's get right into your reading. I'm gonna pull the cards out here, and then I'm going to take a moment to really tap in to the messages. Okay, pile number one. Ooh, okay. So definitely you have Earth here twice. Feeling the Earth energy for you guys this morning. It's about grounding yourself in what's possible and what's real, and understanding that, things take a while to manifest in the 3D, and so you have to be patient with that. But there is a process happening. It might feel like it's very slow moving, but you are definitely making things happen here with the Rainmaker at the center of your reading. So the Rainmaker is really, flowing with the energy, moving with the energy, and letting it kind of pass through you. If you're feeling very heavy and weighted down, like things are just taking forever, things aren't moving forward, go to the energy of water. So I'm definitely feeling that to balance that out. And Isis is also a goddess of balance and restoring balance, right? So to situations. So I feel like for you to kind of get out of, if there's any, stuck energy, for you to get out of that, you really want to go to the element of water to get that repaired, okay? So, or get not repaired, but get it moving again, get the energy moving again. And I love that there's like, you know, a little waning moon here, and then there's a bunch of little waning moons all over this card too. So what that tells me, this is the waning moon from the Moonology deck, and it says, what do you need to release? So, you know, one thing about earth energy is it can get very heavy, stuck, like I explained, and can retain things, all right? It can retain, retain things that were said and done to you, retain water, retain, you know, feelings of heaviness, etc., that you might have felt were visited upon you by others, okay? So there's a lightness of being. I do feel that you want to kind of flow into and float into here. Also, I really would like to address this combination up here as well. So we have flowering, which is the Queen of Pentacles, the butterfly, and the Princess of Cups. So I'm really watching here. What I see is your transformation, pile number one, like you starting off, like putting all your energy into hypnotizing one fish. If you look at the card, I could really see that as you putting all your energy into kind of the seduction game, kind of like where if you're dating and you want someone to sort of come hither, which is very goddess type energy, come hither. There's nothing wrong with that, but I do think that when you focus on that energy of sort of just magnetizing, and it doesn't, maybe you're already with someone and you're not doing that, but there might be things in life that you're overly, overly focused on. So you're really focusing on one thing, maybe to the exclusion of other things that you need to focus on, right? So you might just be looking at one area of your life. You might have come here to hear about one area of your life in particular. You might be putting your energy into one specific person. Maybe it's a child, maybe it's a relationship, maybe you're dating and you're putting your energy, a lot of your vital force into that. Whatever it is, because this is a general reading, it's taking up a lot of your focus and determination and your emotional energy too, right? It's really taking a lot of it. And the message I'm getting for that is that, you know, if you did come here for one to hear guidance for one area of your life, that what really wants to open to you is change on all levels, okay? Change in basically all your life. And what do you need to release to get there? And, you know, maybe you feel like if you do change multiple areas of your life, it will really upset your stability and your groundedness. But you're a very grounded person, pile number one. You're not going to all of a sudden one day become ungrounded. But the universe is really, the spiritual energy here is one of transforming all things, right? In all things, all roads lead to Rome. Like the one thing that you came here about is literally encompassing everything that you're working on. So expand your mind on that so that you can really get to the core of what you need to release. If there's things that you have done that have been like emotionally obsessive, or have been, to the exclusion of all other things in the past, you're really being asked to open up. And when I see the lotus here, I think of a flower opening up. You're really being asked to take your focus off that one thing. If it's your child and all you do is focus on your child and how they're doing and what's happening, you're being asked to focus on more. And that's great, if you focus on your child and everything, but you're really being asked to open up on multiple levels and focus on many things, not to the detriment of others. Don't become distracted. Become curious and open, and I'm almost like thinking of those hip stretches in yoga where you put your hands on the side of your knees and kind of push the sides of your thighs down a little bit. I'm getting that, you know, you definitely need some opening of your energy, also physical energy, right? Because your opening of your physical energy is going to help you release some of these tensions that you've been feeling, or release some of these obsessions that have been really, really holding on tight, right? Some of those neural pathways, when you become obsessed about something, that hold on really, really tightly, you're being asked to release that with the element of air here with the butterfly and this flowering. I definitely feel like you're meant to open your energy a lot more than you maybe have in the past, okay? Dancing, moving your body, releasing, asking your guides, asking Goddess Isis to help you with, what do I need to release, Goddess, right? What are the things that I need to release in order to move out of stuck energy, okay? So I'm gonna read a couple messages here. This message is called, from Isis, is called Life Restored. Spiritual resurrection is gifted to you now. Whatever part of you or your life you thought to be dead is being revived and will flourish back into life. Just as the phoenix rises from the fire, transitioning from death into life, so too you will rise again, healed and renewed, okay? So what do I need to release? Spiritual resurrection is gifted to you now, right? With this butterfly. So the goddess is trying to bring in this life restored energy for you. And this front of this card, I'm feeling like very like heavy energy, very much like wanting to do whatever it takes, okay? So, but with the butterfly and the phoenix and rising again from death into life and the rainmaker here, it's like, how do I get lighter? How do I release more? How do I get lighter with the way that I approach, okay? And then the other message we have here, look at this, right? We've got Isis in her eyes in the background. She's watching someone. She's watching this man right here, but it says, healing the divine masculine. The divine masculine within provides protection, discernment, healing, and a deep sense of safety and holding, even through the most uncomfortable circumstances of life. Okay, if you're moving beyond obsessions, you're moving beyond singular focus and like stubborn stuckness, okay? It can be uncomfortable. Your inner masculine is going through healing right now, growing stronger in the ability to offer you inner protection and stability so that your inner feminine can blossom with creative expression, okay? So the masculine really coming in here to provide the container for what you're doing. And this could be here, the earth energy that's coming through. The masculine energy, your own divine masculine energy, providing a safe container for you to actually express your feminine creative gifts and take care of yourself, right? So that is very important. And then the temple of lapis lazuli. So lapis lazuli is a beautiful stone that you can use to enhance your third eye and psychic abilities and communication. But it says the temple of lapis lazuli. So the goddess Isis is associated with lapis lazuli. Your soul is very ancient and holds the wisdom of star peoples from civilizations with unique high vibrational awareness that can help humanity transition from a culture based in fear to love-based community. You are on this planet to be you to the fullest extent possible. Then you will help heal human culture so the planet may thrive, okay? What a beautiful message. Yeah, so in the temple of lapis lazuli, if you meditate with lapis lazuli, if you can think about yourself walking into one of Isis's ancient temples with lapis lazuli all around to bless you and to guide you, right? There's a lot of fear in our culture right now. There's a lot of obsession on the what ifs and what can happen and how things are going to go down, right? There's a lot of, as a society right now, we're in a collective fear and anxiety experience. And so, you know, that can easily that might be something that you need to, that is probably something you need to release here, pile number one, is that fear and anxiety. Also, if there's any lack of confidence that you have felt in the past. I listened to this song called Weaker Girl by Banks the other day. And it's like, you know, I'm gonna need a bad motherfucker like me. With this Queen of Pentacles energy here, I definitely feel that you are a bad motherfucker, pile number one. And you're just working on flowering into that even more, releasing even more, transforming even more. And with this earth energy here, you have to be a little bit patient with it. The goddess is asking you to be patient with whatever you're working on in your life, and that's okay. We have all the time in the world, okay? So I hope that that was helpful and healing for you, pile number one. That was your message for this morning from the goddess Isis. Your spiritual message. Okay. So moving on to pile number two. Pile number two, if you chose the Bloodstone pyramid, okay, this is really cool. I just got this recently. What message does the goddess Isis have for you today, and why is it important in the way of spiritual guidance, okay? So let's take a look at what goddess Isis is wanting to bring forward for you. I love how she's bringing forward. I'm going to pull all the cards and then I'll go into the reading. Ooh. Wow, okay. Whew, all right. All right, pile number two. Okay, so right now we have a time to give rather than to take. So you are definitely, you're being invited, especially with this moon energy here. Look how much you have to give. I feel like you have so much to give, pile number two. You are literally overflowing with what you can give and what you can do. This writing at the top, I just saw old habit, okay? So maybe you have an old habit of giving too much, and you know that you've got that habit, but you just have so much to give, okay? And it's really endless with you. Your pile number two, you're with this energy too, I feel like you are so feminine and that you resonate with the goddess anyway. Like, you barely even need me to pull any messages from the goddess through because you are so connected to the goddess. Anyway, and you're quite beautiful as well, pile number two. You're beautiful not only because you give to other people and you help others and it radiates in your outer beauty, but you just have so much inner beauty as well. So I really see that you as well sometimes get into cycles where, you know, you're giving a lot and others aren't giving as much, or others are giving a lot and you're not giving as much. So it's kind of like bringing balance to that. Isis, the goddess Isis, is really helping us to bring balance into situations in our life. And so there's a balancing act here that's going on, and it doesn't have to be perfect. With this new moon in Virgo, you're being asked to let go of anything that feels like it has to be perfect in order to give anything, right? Like you have to kind of like measure it out and tit for tat, quid pro quo, right? Like you're being asked to kind of move away from that. Like, is this perfectly balanced? Is this energy exchange perfectly balanced, right? And you're being asked to sort of move away from that type of over-analysis and just realize that you have a lot to give. And because you have received your Saturn lessons here regarding truth and authority, sovereignty and boundaries, that your moon energy in the past, if you had an old habit of overgiving and not having anything in return, etc. I also feel there's a message here coming for you about, even you look at your pattern, look at your old habit of overgiving and realize that you were receiving in those situations. The universe is, even if it wasn't showing up in the 3D and it wasn't showing up as that other person reciprocating, the universe sees your good work and the abundance and the stability that you can or have been blessed with in your life is part of that reward, okay? So your rewards are endless. Your abilities are endless, and you really have learned many great lessons as this energy has been with you for a long time, okay? So I don't actually know what the Andean cross is. I've read this before, but I can't recall off the top of my head, so I'm gonna read this one. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I will give you a little bit of a tidbit here about what this energy is about. And this is from my Mystical Shaman Oracle, okay? So I love this deck. It's very interesting. Okay, so the Andean Cross. The Andean Cross announces the start of a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from mundane day to day to that which now has been beyond your grasp. Allow new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. Okay, like I said, waiting for situations to be perfect, waiting for situation, to really become like totally balanced and perfect before you can do anything in it, right? And it says the Andean cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the 4 cardinal directions, the upper and the lower worlds, the step to each one of these realms. The hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel. With the proverbial eye of the needle, we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom, okay? So I really feel like you're releasing some old patterns and old habits that you've had, and you are, being stretched. There's an energy here with the Andean cross of just being stretched. I also feel like there are certain patterns that you can jump into. I'm also seeing the letters OLP. So if you have any of those letters in your first or last name, or someone that you think about all the time, OLP, this message is really, really, really for you. Even if you don't have that, it could still be, I'm just hearing on the love plane, right? On the love plane. On the love plane of existence, you don't have to be perfect, right? In order to give. You have so many gifts that are just with you and surrounding you, and you've learned to use them in a very wise and excellent way. So don't be afraid of that. You can go into it. You can go into the center of the needle, and go into these interdimensional portals, etc. And you have the portal of light right here, which from message from Isis, which we'll get into in a little bit. Okay. So the other thing is I want to say here too, it's not that I want to say, I know for sure. And I'm feeling a lot of confidence in your guys' reading. You guys have been through some harrowing experiences recently. And I don't mean like, I mean, maybe something physically harrowing you've been through recently too as well. We do have, a global pandemic going on, but I feel like it's been more energetically harrowing for you and more of like a wake-up call, okay? So with the Tower and the Judgment Call, this year, pile number 2, this year and last year, you have received a massive wake-up call, okay? And it's like, dun, dun, dun. You cannot ignore it, because not only has it happened energetically, but it is literally manifested in the 3D, where structures that were no longer serving you and energies that were no longer with you, no longer, energies that no longer need to be with you are being stripped from you. Okay, this is Mars and Pluto energy, and so it can feel like very harsh and violent at times, not maybe necessarily actually violent, but just the rate at which things are being cleaned out from your life and situations which are being pulled off of you and pulled back from you is quite epic. And I do have a goddess. Isis she is in the mix with this. She is part of your awakening, and she is part of how you have balanced the scales with the realizations that you've been having. I'm also seeing the number 3, okay, multiple times. So if the number 3, like maybe you were born on the 3rd, or you're in the 3rd month, or something happened on the 3rd or the 3rd month that could be applicable to you, if that's true, then this is really resonating for you as well. I am seeing here with the lion energy, you have greeted these changes and these upsets with upstanding courage, clarity, strength. I'm feeling my solar plexus like really get turned on right now. So not turned on like sexually turned on, maybe so. Maybe you're more animalistic, but I'm feeling my solar plexus really becoming activated during this reading. It's like, yes, you know, and I feel like you should be very proud of yourself for that. Pile number 2, really look at this card and let the energy of this card really seep into you, because I'm getting really excited doing your reading, because I feel like you are a powerful person. You're very strong. You're very wise. I definitely feel the softer side of you has waited for this energy to lift so that you can show a softer face to the world too, right? It's like a lot of times it's like we always have to be strong. We always have to be, you know, protecting and strong and all of that. There is a side here of I seeing you wanting to get softer with your energy and having an experience now where you can do that. So let's read your portal of light messages from the goddess Isis. Okay, it says the only physical reality that is bound by time and space. It is only the physical reality that is bound by time and space. You are a conscious being on levels beyond the physical world. You are guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space. You will not become ungrounded, though, with such spiritual work. You are not leaving the earthly connection behind. You are merely adding to it. Okay, and I really see that with this Undayan cross. You're going into it, right? But look at all this earth and earth energy that's supporting it. So wanting you to stay grounded, to stay focused, again with the yellow and the orange here, the sacral and the solar plexus really becoming activated. But I see this earth energy behind it, which is really grounding it and rooting it. So if you're doing a lot of energetic or spiritual work in your dreams or just around and you're feeling ungrounded, really tap into those roots. The goddess is saying, you know, you can go play in these portals and these other energetic spaces. I'm here with you. I'm protecting you. I'm grounding your energy. Okay. Stay true and be in your power. Oh, isn't that true with the lion here? You are a sovereign divine being with spiritual authority and freedom within. You do not need permission from anyone to be who you are and live your life as you so choose. This is your divine birthright. Guard it as the precious treasure that it is. And remember that you are a divine being free to be you. Oh, I love that message. I love it. You are a sovereign divine being with spiritual authority. Pile number 2. Don't forget that. You know that to be true. And then this divine sunchild, blessings of the sun flow to you now. It is time to allow your life to flourish without limits, to let your light burn bright and without veil, just like the midsummer sun burning without contest in the Egyptian desert. It is your time to shine. Okay? So yeah, it's your time to, and I just see like these energies all around you, looking at you, watching you. Other people are watching you. They're watching what you're doing. They're watching how you handle things, how you handle yourself now. What kind of energy do you show up with? People are looking to you as a guiding point on the map, okay? And there's responsibility with that. With Saturn here, we can see you're aware of your responsibilities and what that means. And you're aware of the work that you need to do. With number 6 here and Virgo showing up, you're aware of the work and effort that that takes. And so you're not walking blindly into any of it. And I feel great about this, pile number 2. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing so good. Keep up the good work, okay? Those were your messages. And moving on to pile number 3. I always like to drink a little water between the readings. It kind of clears out the prior readings energies and gets me ready for the new energy. All right, so pile number 3, what message does the goddess Isis have for you right now, and why is it so important with related to spiritual guidance? Okay, so we have the Hematite here. The Hematite is amazing for empaths and people who need to ground and people who need to really anchor in when they're doing psychic work, etc. So the hematite is amazing, root chakra. I love it. I also feel like this could be crown because it's so shiny and beautiful. Okay, so root and crown from head to toe. This is for you, pile number 3. What messages is the Isis goddess bringing forward to you today? Ooh. I just heard the word divine badass. Someone here's a badass. Okay. Okay. Pile number 3. You could be getting a lot of, oh, here's the Eye of Horus right above here, right? So yeah, and look at these ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs here. Like, you are already connected to Isis. You're already receiving the mysteries and the messages. You might be getting a lot of messages right now. You might also be a reader or a psychic or have experience working with energy. And you might be on a path with that. Okay, so yeah, I definitely see you are receiving a lot of messages and downloads right now. There's a message here at the top of the card I'm trying to tap into. It looks like an A. Okay, if you okay, it's like an arrow is what I'm seeing. It's like an arrow. I'm also seeing the word Atari, which I can't ignore. Isn't that like an old game that people play? Like Nintendo or something like that? Maybe it's just, I feel like it's a message that the old games that people play are not resonating for you anymore, okay? The old games that people play, the manipulative energies, etc., that are, you know, that could be definitely feel like they're always, that some of these older energies also have like their eye on you. It's like these energies almost peer into you, like they seek you out, or they come to kind of really just sort of draw you out energetically, okay? So these old games that people play or that you've played with people in the past are being completely eliminated right now, okay? They're being completely shattered. I just, you know, shattered is what I got here. So if you have any emotional patterns or any kind of game playing that you, because it takes two, right? If you've been with somebody who, you know, puts you down or demeans you or harms you in any way, like that's not great, right? If you have a habit of kind of being with, and this candle over here on the right is going crazy. So I know that this is true, that if you have a habit of you know, abdicating your personal power in relationships, or letting others' energy kind of dominate you in relationships, or pull you into old games and habits that are not fruitful and not abundant for you. We have a message here that a personal issue reaches resolution full moon in Cancer, okay? So with the full moon, and especially in Cancer, everything is being illuminated right now. Everything is under a microscope. Even the night cannot hide from the light, okay? So you are picking up patterns and picking up energies that in the past would have immobilized you, would have had you caught in a snare, right? Are now being you're having resolution, okay? With the snake energy here, the serpent energy, serpent, they don't even call it a snake, it's a serpent in this deck, which is very ancient. It's like these ancient patterns and the way that you've interacted are being uncoiled and being released right now. And, you know, the snake has to do with healing. So it has to do with that medicine healing energy. I get the sense that the more that you take care of your physical body, your finances, your friendships, the more that you dive into your practices and what you do, the more that you are transcending these type of relationships that in the past have really been like about playing really old ancient games with, you know, somebody that just the energetic space doesn't work for you. And you can see this with the Lovers card. In this deck, I'm really feeling this energy of facing off, okay? You know, the Face Off, wasn't that movie with John Travolta where Nicolas Cage and John Travolta like trade faces, okay? Don't be doing that, of course, pile number 3. You might have been that way in the past where it's like there's this energy of having a face-off, this energy of coming into direct conflict, right, with somebody else's energy. And maybe that had to happen so that you could really move on and you could really properly grieve the situation. And with this Six of Swords, I really feel like your inner child is like, come on, mommy, let's go. Let's leave this situation. It's time to disembark. It's time to move away from this energy. I feel like your inner child is gently trying to pull you away from this situation. And, you know, whatever this situation is in your life right now. And this unicorn energy here is very magical. I associate the unicorn with the protector of the inner child. And I love that you have the unicorn here with the full moon in the background. A personal issue reaches resolution, okay? The universe right now is bending for you in order to show you the magic, to show you a new beginning, to show you the purity of your inner child, and to softly and gently remove situations from your life that are no longer serving you. So there's not a huge tower moment here. There's not a huge, you know, thunderclap that's coming to smack you upside the head. It's more like this pure, regal, unique, really soft energy that wants to pull you away from situations that are not in your best and highest good. Now, I really see like this yellow light coming in through the crown chakra. So I do feel like you're being woken up, but in a very gentle way, like I said. And you know you have some choices to make. You know you have some actions to take, but at the end of the day, your process, pile number 3, is very soft. It's very, very soft and gentle and feminine, okay? And you are evolving, even if it feels like it's taking forever. I see another A in here. There's an A over here, and I saw the word Atari, like old game playing. So something with an A here is very important. If you have an A in your name, or the other person does, or A is just, I'm hearing angels too, right? Your angels are here with you right now. They're helping to ease you into this softer, gentler space with some of this energy that has just been overwhelming on your circuits. And I love that we have the hummingbird here. And that we have the third house messages. I mean, the hummingbird is in your ear, giving you a lot. And again, we see this full moon right here coming to fruition, situations coming to fruition. With the number 8 here, I also see like divine messages and being a bridge between the spirit world and the 3D. You might have a very strong connection with the spirit world. I feel like getting the message, if you just open to softness and to peace, is very easy for you. Okay, if there's a situation that's troubling you, or a situation that's really got you in a lot of, with this 6 of Swords here, I really feel a situation that's got you very much in a pattern of pain and anguish, that if you open to softness and you open to, you know, just sitting with it for a moment, the messages are going to come to you. And with the hummingbird and the serpent, what's that saying? It's like, be cunning like the snake, but peaceful like the dove, right? So you definitely keep your wits about you. And with the serpent energy at the base here, I do feel you keep your intuition, you keep your wits about you. And with the air energy here too, you're looking at things analytically. But the magic is really in the release of these personal issues with your inner child, okay? And these old kind of game playing energies that may have permeated some of your connections in the past, okay? And with the messages from Goddess Isis here, we have Divine Guardian. This is a time of significant spiritual growth and healing for you. You're protected during these times by love and strength of Mother Isis. Relax and allow your transformation to happen. Your divine guardian protects you now. Let go. Trust unconditionally in what is happening for you, as there is only divine love beneath the surface of the present situation, okay? Beneath it all, there's only love, right? I heard that recently. It's pretty cool, okay? You're being very protected and very soft energy, like I said before, but still very protected. Divine sisterhood. Okay, 2 Isises high-fiving each other. I high-five you, pile number 3, in sisterhood. Letting the divine feminine nourish you now into new relationships, collaborations, community, and friendships is very wise, okay? There are many souls with whom you have a spiritual contracts with, decided upon when you were born, and who you wish to help you and whom you can help too, as you grow together in peace and light and wisdom. Oh, that's so, I just got chills. I'm almost gonna cry. That's so beautiful. Let your nourishing friendships and soft friendships support you right now. They are a soft container for your well-being, okay? And the dark healing chamber, okay? This is your next message. The most challenging task is to take courage in both hands and journey within to meet your own dark self and begin the healing task of bringing love, acceptance, and life to it. The sacred purpose of any enemy, within or without, is to push us to venture inwards, to seek and heal the darkness within. Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah, right? If there's any, like I was saying before, any game playing, and it takes 2, and that whole message, and entering, using these experiences as sacred purpose to go inward, right? To have a spiritual revolution, to evolve, right? Using these situations to move through that energy. But I'm seeing this as being done for you in a very soft and loving way, because you are a very soft and loving person, okay? So thank you so much, pile number 3. I hope everybody enjoyed their messages. It was so fun to do this work with Goddess Isis. Blessed be. Thank you all.